I've been playing Guilty Gear Strive for about 2 weeks now, and your boy is what we call terrible at the game. So I decided to make a music tier list instead of a gameplay one, because while I can't play for the life of me, I could still hear, with only moderate hearing loss. In case you don't know what Strive is, it's a $50 soundtrack with a free game attached, and the soundtrack has some of the best music within it. Namely its character themes, which detail the story of the characters in the free fighting game. With that being said, let's talk about the first theme, Souls. Also, ignore the fact that he's looking like a pissed off glow stick. In case you don't know the lore, 100 or so years in the past, Soul was named Frederick. I won't cover how he lived for more than a century, but I will say I'm glad he decided to use Soul as a name, because holy shit, if I ever had to say the words "I'm bad at the Frederick matchup," then I would cry myself to sleep. Now here's the thing, Frederick is a genius, but Soul's a dumbass. His song boils down to wanting to do his own thing, which may sound dull at first, but bro, fucking listen to this shit. It is pure testosterone put into audio form. This shit needs to be registered as steroids. This is the true Sigma grind set theme. Oh yeah, also, little slight note, the song has a line where he talks about his companion. Now this companion is essentially a supercomputer which has the personality of his dead wife inside her, and the one who killed Soul's wife was himself. On multiple occasions. And I'm not explaining any of that shit further, so if you don't know the lore, good luck with having that thought float around in your head. Anyway, this song's SS tier. It makes me feel like a bodybuilder despite being 6'3" and weighing 150 pounds. Also yes, there's multiple S tiers. What can I say? The music's godlike. The next is Kai's theme, and I mean just look at him. Dashing young fellow, charming too. The man's just perfect. True husbando material. So yeah, he committed genocide. Now okay, that may sound terrible at first, considering it's, well, genocide and all, but that was in the past. You know, genocide was just that funny little thing you did as a youth. In the present, he now has a wife and child, who are of the same race he committed genocide against. Yeah, that sounded better in my head. Now, I don't mean to paint him as a villain. I mean, this song is about him feeling remorseful for that one time, long in the past mind you, where he committed immense war crimes and genocide. Absolute genocide, which I should probably stop bringing up. However, in his theme, he talks about regretting his past and is looking to move forward through the world, and hopefully through his actions he could do true good in the world. Unlike that one time he broke the Geneva Convention against one very specific race, thinking he was doing good. This song is S tier. The beginning is nice, it mixes an electric piano with a nice guitar. Later on the drummer is just beating ass, and the drum set in the back. But it doesn't need to be 5 minutes long. Like homeboy, we get it, you killed a race, a big whoop. You don't need to always talk about your war atrocities. Kai aside, let's talk about Mei, and let's also not talk about the fact that she looks like Kyrie and is neon. Now her theme is all about how she wants to fuck the shit out of Johnny, but it also talks about how she will travel the entire world to find him. Yeah, that's right, she's a fucking psychopath. Her lunacy doesn't end there either. She even abuses animals midway through the fight. Bro, look at this shit. She's smashing a dolphin's face against a vampire at 90 miles per hour. I'm telling you, she's insane. One of her lines is saying she can't live without that special one. Inferring from context clues, somebody should put her on suicide watch. She's even saying you won't get away from it. Dog, she's fucking radiating yandere energy. Someone get a straitjacket. If you think I'm exaggerating, my brother in Christ, the song is literally named The Disaster of Passion. The song sounds cute, it's some nice happy fun time anime opening bullshit, but she's radiating Jeffrey Dahmer vibes. The song also has a line about her swallowing, but based on the rest of the song, I don't want to know what she swallowed. The song's an A for animal abuse. Okay, now I know I just talked about a psychopath, a genocide connoisseur, and child abuser. More lore on that one later. But this next person is good. This is Axl, an annoying ass motherfucker to fight against, but he is someone who is an absolute optimist. He was caught in a time slip, as one regularly is, and now can't return to his own timeline. Despite that, this song is incredibly upbeat. His whole life was flipped upside down, yet he's just big chillin' and talking about dogs barking. Okay, maybe he's a little stupid. It's filled with explosive instruments, upbeat as if nothing can bother him. No matter how you're feeling, this song can improve your mood, because it's amazing and so is Axl. I mean, unfortunately he is British, which to many will ruin the song. Nevertheless, this shit is S tier. Next up is the #1 Japanese recruiter, Chipp. This weeaboo was once a drug trafficker and addict. Damn. We got a lot in common. This theme heavily relates to them in two ways. One is the fact it's fast-paced with the singer and instruments doing a hit of both speed and ketamine prior to recording. The other is the fact that the lyrics talk about dying. A lot. Somehow more than I talked about Kai committing genocide, which makes sense considering Chipp was born with glass bones. The song even talks about risking everything, which to Chipp, breathing encompasses that statement. To play Chipp means getting hit once is a straight trip to the ER. Honestly, this shit is probably more fitting than Zato's theme. This song is S tier for slaughtering Chipp's brittle body. Next up is Potemkin. Don't talk about the fact he looks a little similar to Senator Armstrong, alright? Now, generally big characters in fighting games are a little goofy, but his song is about being in a revolution trying to change his corrupt government that made him a battle slave. So you know, pretty much as lighthearted as Axl's song. There's two themes in the song. One that's more military-like, with heavy instruments making you feel how tense the situation is as it relates to the revolution. The other is more calming. The singer starts speaking like someone just kicked him in the nuts. This part is where Potemkin looks to achieve nirvana. He's free from the revolution and the shackles of his country. It's a breath of fresh air from the tense feeling prior. But he doesn't stay in nirvana. He chooses to fight to improve his country. He calls himself a fool, yet will not stop fighting for his beliefs. This is why we stand Potemkin. This is why we love him. Until he kills you in like 2.5 grabs and we just kinda cry in the corner. PTSD aside, this song is SSS tier. The next is Faust's theme. Now I know he kinda looks like a crackhead, which I mean damn, he just looks like me, huh? And this is where I'd like to say don't let his looks fool you. But he looks true to how he is, or more so was, because in the past he was an insane serial killer. But prior to that he was a doctor, so that's gotta count for something. What made him go off the deep end was a patient that he was operating on died, which then made him go wild. And this is reflected in his song. The beginning is fucking insane, so much is going on, it's hard to get a grasp on anything as the song feels constantly shifting. Kinda like he did a line of his usual. But later in the story he regains his sanity. The song is more angelic now. The instruments change and vocals turn into ASMR, which is far from the batshit insanity prior. It's Faust in mourning for all that he's done, talking to the sky, to heaven, and to the patient he lost in a requiem. This song tells a fucking story. It is easily SSS tier. It's beautiful. Unlike Faust. I mean, bro, what can I say? He's fucking 9'4" and only weighs 121 pounds. Nah. If a doctor like that walked in to operate on me, I'd take his ass to fucking KFC first. He's deadass on the poster showing why anorexia is a problem. Now on to Millia Rage's theme. This song is about her learning to love herself. And the reason why she didn't is because of the fact she had cursed hair, was trained as an assassin, and she tried to kill herself multiple times. Well, that's what I get for reading a character's lore. Sadness. But through her journey of self-love, she likes to take her time on it. This song is 5 minutes and I'm wondering why. It sounds great, but kinda feels like it's on loop at times. There aren't really any moments where I'm wowed, it feels pretty consistent. You got themes like Faust where it changes tune at the end, but this song from beginning to end doesn't change that much. Thankfully it still sounds great, but it's only A tier. But this next song is godlike. Oh yeah, real quick, for the lore on Zato 1. In the past, he was brutally murdered and then was resurrected and now he feels no emotions. You got that good, moving on. This song has 3 acts to it. Act 1 where it sounds like the singer is getting suffocated by a pillow. Act 2 where you hear his beautiful voice clearly. And Act 3 which is where he sings in his depression opera. Act 1 is him reminiscing on his past, back when he used to be able to feel emotions. However, those memories are long gone so he can't recall them clearly, like the vocals. But before he could linger in his memories, Act 2 comes out of nowhere. This is where he details his espresso depresso, his present. In this he talks about his abyss of desire, dreams, hell he can't even feel pleasure now. And I mean rip out to him, he can't even enjoy a stoleful hentai now. Truly one of the most tragic characters of all time. Then as he's beaten down by his present, Act 3 comes in. This is him singing about his future. The instruments are sad but the vocals are resolved. The only thing he wants for his future is the ability to be how he was in the past, which is why the instruments are reminiscent to how songs were in the past. This is much like Faust's theme, where it's telling a story. SSS tier is the only thing I could give this song. Thankfully though, he isn't as ugly as Faust. The next theme is for Ram. She may look cute, but much like Kai, she wanted to commit genocide against the entire world. However, she's now a good guy. What made her not want to one-up Hitler was the fact that she ate a burger. I wish I was fucking around. But the other thing that changed is the fact that she can now feel emotions, which is reflected in the song by it starting off chaotic as she finds out how to live in the world. Then it proceeds to get more clear and she states her love for the world. Her theme is about how the world is filled with love and how she came to that understanding, which is ironic because whenever I play against her, I am filled with burning hate. All in all, this song's an A tier. The end is godlike, but I'm not insane about the journey there. Now, Ram's theme was all about love, but Leo's theme is about something equally beautiful. PTSD and survivor's guilt. The song details how Leo fought in the war and led all of his soldiers to their deaths, and he's the only one left alive. I feel like listening to Leo's theme would give a therapist a mental breakdown. This is 4.5 minutes of pure regret and depression put into audio form, which upon first impression doesn't sound that good, but this shit's raw. Like on one hand he's hating himself, yet on the other we have a guitar slaying it. Much like how his soldiers were slain. All I'm saying is Kai's kinda godlike if his crusade was able to make more music like Leo's. This shit is making me think depression ain't half bad. This is the greatest endorsement of why therapists only hold you back. That's why it's S tier, because it saved me thousands that would have gone to waste in therapy. Now Nagoriyuki is what we call a Giga Chad. Because of that he has two themes. The first is what do you fight for? Now this is what I like to call Unga Bunga because it's all about beating ass. It has nice rock talking about grinding and fighting. The instruments build up like prep before a fight, and when you're ready to go the song says, "Now it's time to feast," which is a little homoerotic but mainly hype as hell. Also, a line exists that says there is nothing wasted about our lives, which I honestly love because that means the countless hours I spent downloading hentai mods for this game only led to soul enlightenment. What do you fight for is SS tier. Crawl on the other hand, I fucking hate. Listen, when he starts talking about rainbows and shit, it's easily top tier, but outside of that it's meh. Except for when he talks about freedom, that's easily the worst part of the song. Probably because whenever the song says calm, I always hear come, which honestly that one's probably on me, but it's still unfortunate. This is B tier. Next is Giovanna's theme. Now let me take you into my headspace real quick. You ever see those memes of a home on fire and the caption is who let them cook? That's how I feel in this song. I don't know what it's cooking, but I know it's some mystery food eggs. Deadass, the song feels like a trip of ecstasy, and not the good kind. Shit's happening and I just gotta hold that. It has some deep ass Morpheus voice at times, and at others starts singing about fucking bubbles. If I was stopped by the police and this was blasting out of my car, then they could take me in for drunk driving without testing me, and I couldn't be mad at them. This is B tier, and leaves me with more and more questions every time I listen to it. Now the next is Anji's theme. The entire song is about his want to fuck Baiken, and as a Baiken main, I resonate with that message. Now okay, you may look at Anji and think he's a crazy simp who never stops thinking about Baiken, but I want you to look at Baiken and honestly say you don't know where he's coming from. And if you're into men, then I pose the same question to you as you look at Anji. What? They both got the same chest size anyway. Bias aside though, this song does feel like a rock parade. It has times of calm reminiscence when he's thinking about Baiken, and then his simpery, which I can't fault in the slightest mind you, causes him to explode into a rush of instruments and vocals. Which, thinking on it, what I just said sounds hella sus. This song's high S tier. Now I like to talk about the Guilty Gear lore, mainly because it sounds like a Crackheads episode, but also because it fits with the characters of songs. But I refuse to open up the Pandora's box of Ino's theme. The most I know about her is that 99% of the fandom believes she is horrifically racist. However, let's treat this song like H.P. Lovecraft, ignore the racism and focus on the work itself. And the song is incredible. The instruments and vocals blend so well together to try and make you forget the fact that Ino's a raging bitch. It's SS tier. The Kiss of Death, not the anime one mind you, is fucking fantastic. This shit feels like Texas's national anthem, which apparently already exists.
Texas, our Texas, all hail the mighty state.
Yeah, they gotta change that shit. That's fucking ass. Now, Goldlewis is the US Secretary of Defense, and this is the first time I wanted to be American. It starts off with the most menacing instruments, like Goldlewis is walking his 600 pounds of pure testosterone into a briefing. Then says,
"It's not a big deal. We can handle it."
This song has the unexaggerated swagger of an absolute Chad. Not giving a fuck is an art form, and this song is fucking Da Vinci. This song is how Americans who bring assault rifles into a Walgreens feel like. It is absolute reassurance put into audio form. This song can cure a mental breakdown, which is more evidence as to why therapists are scams. This song is chill as hell with just the right amount of gay. SSS tier for sure. Now okay, this is where I'm gonna make some enemies. Perfection can't please me, quite frankly, it doesn't please me. The song's about Jacko actually experiencing and loving life, but I would love to listen to a different song. Now okay, I love playing Jacko for reasons, but I also love the fact that I could change the background music. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't have any strong feelings about the song. It's just kinda there. And something else that's there is the Jacko simps about to burn my home down. Listen, I'm one of you. I have a 784GB folder of Jacko hentai, don't lynch me. We're polishing for the same battle. But this song is the best in B tier. It beats Trigger, but I can't say it's A tier. Now, when it comes to Drift, I only have a few things to say. Fuck Happy Chaos and his B tier Willy Wonka ass song. Bitch Boy Chaos aside, next is Baiken's, and I want you to know that I will be biased. The only flaw in it is the fact that it takes longer to get to the vocals than I last when looking at Baiken. However, this is probably the first song I heard in Japanese that wasn't sung by cute anime girls. That one's probably on me for K-On! Being the only anime I watched. However, it has hype-ass Japanese vocals, like a crowd getting hyped for a samurai showdown, probably referring to Baiken's quest for vengeance, and it stays on this hard and cold tone for most of the song, saying she wants to be left alone. Then at the end it changes. It's Baiken how she is in Strive, no longer completely consumed with vengeance. The song is more calm and has Kermit as a lead vocalist. She says her vengeance will be a sacrifice, and because of that she should move on. It then sounds more hopeful, looking towards Baiken's future, living a life that doesn't start and begin with vengeance. This is SSS tier. Next is Testament's theme, called Like a Weed, Naturally, as a Matter of Course. Yeah, little question, fucking why is it that long of a name? Deadass no clue what the song is trying to say. The only thing I know is that it switches pronouns because Testament is agender. Other than that, my input on the meaning of this song would be the same answer a starving orangutan would give you. Though their theme still be kinda cooking, it doesn't have any moments that wow me, so I'd say it's A tier. Next is probably Strive's most popular song, The Town Inside Me, Bridget's theme. Don't question the name, by the way. Now for a little lore breakdown, Bridget came out as trans in Strive, which for whatever ungodly reason made some people go insane with rage. And this song is her coming to accept herself. It repeats the chorus, but every time it repeats, it's different. At first it sounds solemn with few instruments being played, and it has the vocals of her saying she blames herself front and center. Then as time progresses, more instruments are added, but it still feels like it isn't fully there. The next time more instruments are added, it almost sounds full, but she still blames herself. Then at the end of the song, all instruments are present like she fully accepts herself so the entire band can play, brimming with confidence. And the line where she says I'm the one to blame is now in the back, drowned out and harder to hear because she doesn't doubt herself. This song is a fucking journey about self-acceptance and love. So in other words, Leo definitely needs to listen to this shit. That needs to be a requirement for his ass. This is SSS tier. The only question I have is how she fit a town inside her, but I'll leave the video of that to only be shown on Reddit's weirdest porn subreddits. Now when it comes to Sin, I absolutely hate this motherfucker. In the story he's funny, but since he's a dumbass, everyone around him kinda treats him like how my teachers treated me, which really says a lot about what they thought of me. But in gameplay, this bitch is annoying. I'm fucking glad Soul abused him. He's not even good either, he's fucking ass, but he's annoying as shit. I don't know what the hell he's waffling on about in his song either, which means I'm on the same page as him. This could be Pavlov's dog, but I don't like his theme that much. It feels like it never changes, it just remains the same, which is probably intentional. Props to using what sounds like a xylophone in the back though, and the fact that his parents' themes play during one part of school. Though this song is B tier, no bias. But that's the list. If you have any grievances, just know I downed 3 bottles of Smirnoff and did 9.5 lines of the fun powder before writing it. So if you have any complaints, just know I don't give a shit and I'm going for another line. Oh yeah, real quick, before I OD, in each tier it goes from best on the left to worst on the right. Time to pray coke is legalized by the time I wake up from my coma.
That is bullshit crazy.